पीएचडी का स्टूडेंट है
इसको लगा इसको तो वो बना
वो आप बोलते ना उनकी जगह
हाँ ठीक है करे सर
स्टार्ट करो आप।
Good afternoon, everybody. I hereby welcome you all in the technical session 2 on the subject of sustainability challenges and issues. As you are aware that we have to realize not only our responsibilities but also our power to become agent for change in support of sustainable and green development. Hence, we have to play a very vital role on this subject. Now I request Mr. J.C. Singhal, chairman of this session 2, to kindly come to the dais and take the seat. Shri J.C. Singhal. Please give a big hand. I think all of you are aware about Mr. J.C. Singhal. He is a very dynamic chairman of this session. He is FIE, FIWE, FIWWA National President, Institution of Water and Environment. He is council member and chairman ENDB, IEI. He passed his B and then ME in Environmental Engineering from IIT Roorkee. And he served for about 39 years in UP Jal Nigam and retired as Chief Engineer Level 1. He is life fellow of many of the organizations. He also worked as an expert for Supreme Court of India, and he is member of several panels of BIS, etc. What to say? He has organized more than 101 seminars, technical activities, and annual convention of Indian Water Works Association. Mr. Singhal has a strong passion for conservation of environment. He organized a nationwide environmental green quiz in which more than 12,000 students from all over India participated. He is editor of Water and Wastewater Treatment book published by International Stadium Press US and author of many other books. He got Eminent Engineer Award by Institute of Engineers. And not only that, last month he was honored by BIS for casting Indian standards on water supply. And in last week only, he was honored with Lifetime Excellence Samman in India in CSR conclave, just last week only. मैं उनके बारे में सिर्फ इतना ही कह सकता हूँ, जब हौसला बना लिया ऊंची उड़ान का, जब हौसला बना लिया ऊंची उड़ान का, फिर देखना फिजूल है कद आसमान का. Please give him a big hand. We feel extremely honored that we have such an eminent personality to decorate the chairman of this session. Now I invite Dr. Labh Singh, co-chairman of this session. Dr. Labh Singh. Dr. Labh Singh is BTech from Punjab Engineering College, Chandigarh, and PhD from Punjab University, Patiala. He is an ITS officer of Indian Engineering Services and spent about 37 years in Telecommunication Center. Recently, he has been honored with membership of Global Goodwill Ambassador Foundation, USA. And presently, he is on advisory boards of a number of organizations. Please give him a big hand. Now I invite Shri P.S. Uttarwal, Team Leader, Greater Noida Master Plan 2041. Mr. P.S. Uttarwal. Shri P.S. Uttarwar is former Additional Commissioner Planning, Delhi Development Authority. He is former advisor HUDA, Haryana Urban Development Authority, and at present he is advisor in urban planning to a national level consultant REPL at Noida. Mr. Uttarwar successfully submitted draft master plan 2041 to UP government in last month, and he is visiting faculty to School of Planning and Architecture and Indian Remote Institute of Remote Sensing. He is fellow member of Institution of Town Planners. He has authored a book and many articles of national and international standards. Please give him a big hand. Now I invite Dr. S.B. Saraswat. Dr. Saraswat is a well-known technologist in the steel sector with more than 4 decades of expertise in projects and supply chain management. Basically, Dr. Saraswat is an electrical engineer with PG in ADR, Material Management, Public Administration, Industrial Engineering, and PhD. Dr. Saraswat is an arbitrator on panel of various forums of India, in India. He has authored a book on construction, arbitration, delays, disputes, and resolution. Practical guide for e-auctions and inventory is cash, how to manage. Please give him a big hand. Shri Adarsh Kumar, due to some unavoidable circumstances, has not come, and he has informed that somebody will replace him. So I'll just take the opportunity at that time to introduce him. Now to start with, Mr. Praveen Goel. He is BE Civil from IIT Roorkee and at present Deputy Chief Project Manager in Delhi Ghaziabad Meerut Rapid Railway Corridor, which consists of about 10 kilometers of tunneling by TBM. And I will thank him, just to make you aware, day after tomorrow we are having a site visit and he is in charge of that project at Anand Vihar Railway Station. Please give him a big hand. To start with, I'll request Dr. Labh Singh to present this article. First of all, sorry, I'll request Mr. J.C. Singhal, Chairman of the session, to speak a few words to us. Mr. J.C. Singhal.
Dear friends, as you know, this is the last session of the day, and everybody must be feeling tired, but even then, you have to bear with us. This session is on challenges in sustainability of environment. Everybody knows that this is a very important issue. I will like to say that in 70s, after independence, we were looking for roti, kapda or makan. In 80s, we were worried about bijli, pani and roads. In 90s, we were looking for education and health. But with the turn of millennium, we are worried, we are looking for, and we are constantly want a sustainable development. And this sustainable development is the key issue for so many conferences, seminars, conclave, even the summit which concluded yesterday. Friends, in Rio de Janeiro in June 2012, there was a big conference, rather a conference for in which our Modi ji also went when he was not Prime Minister, and we decided some sustainable goals. And these sustainable goals are very important for sustainable development of this. In yesterday concluded summit also, all the points we have declared, the sustainable keyword is in every point, in every declaration. Friends, this seminar is mainly, I will focus mainly on environmental issues. And our father of nation has quoted something on this issue. He said that the earth, the air, the water, and this land is not in inheritance from our forefather. It is loan, rather dharohar of our children. So we have to return it to them as we have received as it is. These keywords are very important for sustainable development. In environment, there are some key issues which we are looking, that is air pollution, the water pollution, the waste management, the food and water shortage, and one more important is biodiversity of the environment. In recently concluded G20 summit also, biofuel alliance has been made to tackle this. I will like to quote few words from our Prime Minister Modi ji. He said, "Let us pledge collectively to work towards conserving precious environment resources. Let us live in harmony with nature and keep our beloved earth clean and together." The challenges we are facing are not new. Some of them we got in legacy and some we have created ourselves. The most important is population growth and the fashion style we are living and also the development we want. These all create so many issues. In my opinion, sustainable development is not an option. Sustainable development is not an option. It is the only path that allows all of the humanity to share a decent life on this planet. Dear friends, we have 5 speakers in this session, and seeing the paucity of time, I request each of them to please bear with us and like to finish their presentation in 10 to 12 minutes. I hope they will be able to give only the bullet points, but we will have to bear with us. Thank you. So I request, first of all, Mr. Lab Singh, the co-chairman, who has come all the way from the Chandigarh to present his presentation, Dr. Lab Singh ji. He will speak on the importance of EHS and quality management in India's journey towards sustainable development and environmentally responsible society. Dr. Lab Singh ji.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Dr. Lab Singh. I am chairman at Institution of Engineers, Punjab and Chandigarh chapter. I retired from Government of India, Department of Telecom as advisor. So I was just recollecting that we used to, in telecom, we used to have a lot of safety measures, like whenever, lineman, he climbs the pole, or we dig cables, or even erection of towers and all. So, that was a fresh memory to my mind. But anyhow, just respected chairman, Shri J.C. Singhal Sahab, who has invited me also. And I also am thankful to Engineer Dinesh Kumar, who is the chairman of Safety and Quality Forum, who has invited me here for this session. And other dignitaries on the stage, Arora Sahib, then our Shri P.S. Attarwarji, then Dr. S.B. Saraswati, and Engineer Praveen Goyal. So I am part of the panel here. And most respected audiences, ladies and gentlemen. I'll just go through my presentation. It will not take more than 10 minutes. And mainly it will be a revision of what we have been discussing since morning. But mostly it will be a general presentation regarding sustainable development goals. And that I think encompasses every aspect of safety, quality, environment, health, and all aspects of even smart cities also. So, like today's theme, as you know, is back to basics for strengthening EHS and sustainable foundation. Next, can you just do it for me?
In the meantime, I request all the audience sitting on the back benches to please come closer so that we will have more concentration. So all are requested to come on the front seats. Thank you so much.
Sorry for the interruption. Like this is the this slide is basically for just a reminder that we are handling today is the environment, health, and safety. Now, there are 10 points which I will just I'm throwing light on. That is, one is the growing awareness about this topic of EHS. India has seen a significant increase in awareness about environmental sustainability and safety measures across industries, leading to a greater focus on implementing EHS practices. Number two is the legal framework. India has well-established laws and regulations for EHS and quality management, such as the Environment Protection Act, Factories Act, ISO standards, which play a crucial role in shaping safety practices. Third is the occupational safety. I think we have been discussing about 70 to 80% discussion since morning was about occupational safety, because we were discussing about the accidents and all. So with a large and diverse workforce, India faces unique challenges in ensuring occupational safety across sectors, making it a key topic for discussion at this convention. So the picture also shows about how do we, meet that challenge by establishing procedures, then risk aversion, training, precautions, audit, protection, insurance, and regulations. Fourth point is rapid industrialization. That's what makes it more challenging about EHS. So India's rapid industrial growth demands a greater emphasis on sustainable practices and the integration of safety measures right from the planning stage of the projects. That means from the very beginning, since the inception of the project, we have to keep the safety part in our mind. Fifth is the technology adoption. The adoption of cutting-edge technologies such as IoT, that is Internet of Things, artificial intelligence and data analytics, and 5G. 5G, which is coming, of course, it's already it has entered our country. It's playing a pivotal role in enhancing safety and quality measures in various industries. Because industries, when we talk of automation and robotics, it's all it has to be empowered by IoT. So whatever sensors we are having, so a lot of data it's handling. It talks about that. Then this is very important part, that is circular economy. The concept of circular economy promoting resource efficiency and waste reduction is gaining traction as a sustainable foundation for businesses in India. So in the circular economy, talk of recycle, reuse, repairs, and reduction of use, so that ultimately the resource we use everything efficiently, and there is a waste reduction. That means even people talk of waste to wealth also these days. Then seventh is the green building initiative. India is witnessing a rise in green building initiatives that focus on energy efficiency, waste reduction, and occupants' health and well-being. So whatever buildings we these days construct or design, they have to be energy friendly also, so that we are able to use the renewable energy sources. And then of course it has to be minimizing the wastage also, and how to recycle that wastage for proper use, that I think we all know. And eighth one is the shift towards the renewable energy. It's making significant strides in transitioning towards renewable energy sources, contributing to environmental sustainability and reducing carbon emissions. So basically the challenge is the greenhouse gases, which we are all facing because of fossil fuels. They are the carbon dioxide, then the methane and nitrous oxide. Basically three gases are there which are creating the problem, which you talk of global warming also. So they have to be somehow taken care, and we have to adopt the renewable energy. Probably our environment has to be safe. Like when we talk of safety, it's not safety of the human beings or the machinery only. If our environment is safe, probably we'll be all safe. Then ninth is the safety culture, which we have been discussing since morning. So safety culture takes off the values. We should have the value system in the organization itself, that safety is taken care. Rules and procedures, leadership, recognition, ownership, self-verification, and communication. So building a strong safety culture is becoming a top priority for organizations to create a safer work environment and prevent accidents. And last one is the collaboration and partnerships, which is very important. So we can't any organization single-handedly cannot do anything. So they'll have to partner and take care of and take the help of the other stakeholders, in the organization. So this convention serves a platform for various stakeholders, including government bodies, industries, NGOs, and experts, to collaborate and share best EHS and Q practices for sustainable growth. So let us leverage this opportunity to contribute and enhance sustainability. I have plenty of more slides, but I'll just skip those. This is the conclusion. These facts highlight the importance of EHS and quality management in India's journey towards sustainable development and fostering a safer and more environmentally responsible society. So after a few slides, I'll just skip few slides. And lastly, I want to share with you that each of these 10 points, how they are taken care by the government, by the advocacy groups, and our schemes which government is having. So I'll just take your pardon for this skipping these slides. The last, yeah. So these are the departments. Like for growing awareness, the department is Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Fourth environment working group is also under G20, that is also working on the same motive. Scheme is like, for example, Swachh Bharat Mission, then National Afforestation Program, and Green India Mission, National Coastal Management Program. And advocacy group is the Center for Science and Environment. Then regarding this legal framework, we have Department Central Pollution Control Board. That is the scheme under that is National Clean Energy and Environment Fund. They take care of the funding part of that to encourage the people for this, to reduce the pollution extra. Then advocacy group is the Center for Environment Law and a Worldwide Fund for Nature, India. And occupational safety is taken care by Directorate of General Factories Advice Service and Labor Institutes. Scheme is Employee State Insurance Scheme, and our advocacy group is National Safety Council, India. The rapid industrialization is taken care by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry under a scheme Make in India, and the group is CII, as you all know. Fifth is the technical option taken care by Ministry of Science and Technology under the Technology Development Board, TDB. And the advocacy group is the Energy and Resource Institute, that is TERI. Then sixth is the circular economy. I think we must understand here that 3 of the 17 sustainable development goals, total there are 17 sustainable development goals which are pursuing the UN mission of achieving, zero net emission by 2030. So here the relevant goals are number 3, that is good health and well-being. 8th is the decent work and economic growth, and 9th is the industry, innovation and infrastructure. So this concept of circular economy is taken care by the Niti Aayog, and the scheme is the Waste to Wealth Mission. Advocacy group is Indian Green Buildings Council. 7th is the Green Building Initiative, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Scheme is the Smart Cities Mission. I think 100 smart cities are already planned in India. And advocacy group is the Green Business Certification of India. So this picture shows various modules which ensure that, those ensure the scheme of smart cities. Like, for example, smart government, mobility is there, then open data, smart digital citizens, smart health, and things like that. 7th is shift towards renewable energy. How is that achieved is Ministry of New and Renewable Energy is there, which looks after this mission of renewable energy. Then National Solar Mission is one of the schemes. And advocacy group is Council on Energy, Environment and Water. That is probably, empowering and associating for achieving this. Last but one is the safety culture. That is Ministry of Labor and Employment. Scheme is National Occupational Safety and Health Policy. And advocacy group is Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers. That may be one of the advocacy groups, maybe more than that is also there. Maybe more number of advocacy groups regarding this, because safety culture is a big subject. And last is the collaboration and partnership that is taken care by Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Corporate Social Responsibility Initiative is the scheme that you all know, because every company has to, participate in this net zero emission motive of the government. And advocacy group is a Confederation of Indian NGOs. So in conclusion, this provides a comprehensive template of the various government departments, schemes and advocacy groups related to each important point on EHS and Sustainable Development Roadmap in India. So this collaboration between government bodies, organizations and advocacy groups is essential for driving positive change and ensuring a safer and more sustainable future for India. So this is more or less in general what we want to achieve in the long run. Like the world over, they say that zero emission will be achieved by 2050, but India is saying that it will be achieved by 2070. Maybe 50% is achieved by 2050. So that is how things are happening. And SDG index is online real-time thing which we can see on the even internet also. That is Niti Aayog is keeping a track on what India is achieving, what India is doing for SDG goals. And I hope that if we continue to pursue those goals, all issues relating to safety will be probably taken care. Thank you so much. Thank you.
For a beautiful presentation. Now I request Mr. Pradeep Goyal, Chief Engineer NCRTC, to show a slide for the safety measures he is taking in tunnel corridor from Anand Vihar to Ghaziabad. He is instrumental and organized a visit for all of us day after tomorrow for the inside visit of the tunnel. Mr. Praveen, go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Respected Chairman of the desk, J.C. Singhal, sir. Co-Chairman, Dr. Labh Singh. Uttarwar, sir. Saraswat, sir. Arora, sir. Chairman of the Institute of Engineers. Dear friends, colleagues. Basically, we are executing Delhi-Meerut RRTS corridor. It's upcoming project, 82-kilometer road-based infrastructure projects, which is reliable and sustainable for the future. And with this project, around 1 lakh vehicle will be off-road from Delhi NCR region. And for the sustainable development, it will very effective for environment improvement. And during execution of this project, I am looking after the underground package in Delhi area. It's cover around 10-kilometer underground tunnel, which we complete in just 550 days. And it is last month we complete the tunneling. And during execution of this tunnel, we face so many challenges. So I want to, you please see this video and it will give you our project.
0.68 kilometers of stretches B.
Voice.
And one underground station at Anand Vihar. The TBM was launched from 4 locations, 2 going up for 2.12 kilometers and 2 going down for 2.91 kilometers, to cover a total of 10 kilometers. For the construction of the underground section, casting yards have been set at Kurkudoma, Delhi, to achieve the project timelines. The casting yard consists of all the concrete quality control measuring labs and 2 separate sheds for precast line construction. A total of 46,900 segments are required to be casted for the project. A comprehensive laboratory has been set up for stringent quality control of all the input materials, from source to production of concrete, such as testing of cement, coarse and fine aggregate, concrete compressive strength, and durability parameters like water permeability and RCPT. After achieving the design parameters, the final inspection is done and then dispatched to the launching shaft to be fixed in the tunnel. During the design and construction of the underground stretch, NCRTC faced several challenges such as the TBM passed below the Khichripur slum areas at a shallow overburden. The overburden ranged from 8 to 12 meters. The slum was evacuated during the construction of the tunnel, and the ground was also grouted to prevent cave-in. Also, TBM parameters were rigorously monitored. One of the challenges faced by NCRTC was when the TBM crossed NH24. As it was crossing under the flyover, TBM was at a distance of only 2 meters away from one of the piers of the flyover. Similarly, while crossing line 7 of DMRC, the TBM crossed only at a distance of 1.31 meters from the existing metro pier. Along with monitoring TBM parameters, micropiles were used to reduce the impact on the existing structure. A small part of the tunnel passes under Putpaganj industrial area. The TBM crossed at a shallow overburden of 8 to 10 meters and effective overburden of only 4 to 6 meters due to the basement in the buildings. Similar precautions like evacuation and continuous monitoring of TBM were done during the construction. The only underground station of this portion is situated at Anand Vihar. During the DPR review stage, many alternate location plans for Anand Vihar RRTS station were explored by NCRTC so as to provide optimal multimodal integration. According to the initial plan, RRTS station was planned adjacent to the existing Anand Vihar metro station, wherein the TBM tunnel passes through from the basement level of Anand Vihar metro station. Due to the revision in the tunnel's inner diameter, the RRTS tunnel was infringing on the existing foundation piles of the elevated metros, and thus, it was concluded that the construction was not feasible at this location. To avoid infringement with existing metro station piles, the proposed Anand Vihar RRTS station was planned diagonally below Chaudhry Charan Singh Marg. but it had major shortcomings such as the foundation of existing FOB was infringing the RRTS tunnel alignment. The requirement of minimum depth for TBM while crossing the Ghazipur drain was not met. Traffic diversion was a major challenge, as the station was proposed below the Chaudhry Charan Singh Road, which has a very high traffic flow in both directions. Diversion of major utilities such as IGL lines, stormwater lines, and electrical lines was also required. To avoid shifting of major utility, Anand Vihar station box was proposed in new PSRTC land and private land on the other side of Chaudhry Charan Singh Marg. But it also had issues like part of the main carriageway of Chaudhry Charan Singh Road would still require traffic diversion, thus disturbing a lot of moving traffic. The minimum depth for TBM while crossing the Ghazipur drain was still not met. Along with that, the number of entries and exits of Anand Vihar RRTS station would increase. Also, the length of the FOB to provide better connectivity to the passengers would also increase, thus defeating the whole purpose of multimodal integration. To provide a seamless interchange facility to passengers, it was decided that the Anand Vihar RRTS station will be adjacent to the existing Anand Vihar metro station. To make space for the upline tunnel, the existing service rooms and 3 staircases were dismantled and relocated. Due to the shallow depth, less construction time would be required, and NCRTC saved around 100 crores in construction costs. Also, the multimodal integration is achieved through the skywalk that connects passengers from all the modes, namely Anand Vihar ISPT, Anand Vihar Railway Station, Anand Vihar Metro Station, UPSRTC Bus Terminal, and RRTS Station, which allows conflict-free movement. NCRTC faced another challenge when the TBM was crossing the ROB near Anand Vihar Railway Station. The piers of the reinforcement wall under ROB were infringing with the TBM. And to address this issue, NCRTC excavated and removed the piles to facilitate the TBM in multiple stages. Before starting the excavation, shafts were constructed around the 14 identified piles. In the first few stages, excavation was done and the reinforcement wall was cut and removed and struts were added to support the soldier piles. In the next few stages, excavation was done and a portion of the pile foundation was cut and removed and struts were added to support the soldier piles. This process was repeated until pile foundation was removed completely. After the removal of the complete pile foundation, the struts were removed one by one, and a portion of excavated well was refilled in stages with cement and sand mixture. A shallower PCC foundation was laid for the new reinforcement wall, and subsequently, the shoulder piles were removed, so the TBM can cross without infringement. The TBM was crossing the drain near Vaishali Metro at a shallow overburden of 5 meters. To avoid the risk of water ingress inside the TBM, the drain was diverted and backfilled before crossing the TBM below it. Below the drain bed, high voltage cables of 33 kV and 11 kV are laid, which were running only half a meter above the TBM crown. In order to avoid any untoward accident due to cable damage, the shutdown of the cables was taken in a phase-wise manner from the electricity department during the TBM crossing. By conducting intensive surveys and preliminary investigations during the initial planning stage of the project, NCRTC has managed to save crores of rupees and provided sustainable and integrated transport solutions that cater to the needs of pedestrians.
Sir, basically, to achieve this project, which we actually learned some lesson from my previous experience, and which we execute, we are utilized for this project also. Like during crossing our tunnel boring machine, we take sometime closure of the road. When we go to the authorities and ask for the safety reasons, sometimes we hesitate to ask the request from other authorities. But like when we crossing the road as a very narrow overburden, and there were chances of failure was there, we go to the authorities and we ask the complete closure of road and we get it. So the authorities are very welcoming or ready to give the permissions when we ask for the safety reasons, and which can be avoid the major failure for the major project. Like if road is running maybe few days and big accident will happen, it will be a loss to the nation also. So I request whenever we go for major projects and we require support from other authorities, we should go. Similarly, like when we cross many buildings, so initially we plan we will not evacuate the building. But when we decide for the safety reasons, we evacuate each and every building. So we evacuate around 400 families. And with the meticulous planning and with the constant touch with the each and every families, and we provide accommodations, easily this thing happen. And this become our life easy and avoid probability of the major failure. If some building is failure, there is no problem. Some cavity is happen, no problem. But if life is lost, it become a very big issue and it will be lost to the nation. So we take this kind of stance, and we take the stand for the safety reasons, whenever required, we make proper planning, give the proper, address the proper problem for the individual persons. Like if we close the road, we provide the alternate. We give the proper traffic marshal, so that our road should be run smoothly. Similarly, like when we cross like 33 kVA line, we go to the chief engineers and ask, we need shutdown. It can be crossed without shutdown also. Nothing will happen. But if accident is happen, then it become a big problem. And when we go to the chief engineer, he provide us the shutdown, and we easily cross our tunnel there. So my request is that whenever we execute these kind of major projects, and for the safety reasons, we take the topmost priority for the safety. Then our project will complete timely, and if some failure is happen, the major failure or loss to the life can be saved. And it will time saving and cost saving. Thank you very much.
As you are already aware, I may repeat that we will be able to see this a beautiful and a very prestigious project, one of its own kind in India, day after tomorrow. Our Sri Praveen Goyalji has made a good arrangement to visit this and he will be with us on that day. So whosoever wants to visit may like to give his name at the counter outside and fill a form, so that we can make arrangement for them. Okay? Thank you. Any question from Mr. Praveen Goyal? Thank you. So we move to the next paper. I request Sri P.S. Uttarwarji, the team leader, Greater Noida Master Plan, to present his paper on urban planning, environment and health initiative. Sri P.S. Uttarwarji.
Can you start the presentation? Hello. Chairman J.C. Singhal ji, Mr. Arora ji and my co-panelist. I am the odd man out here. I am not engineer. I am architect and urban planner. तो यहाँ सारे जो इंजीनियर्स हैं इतनी सेफ्टी की बात कर रहे हैं, एनवायरनमेंट की बात कर रहे हैं, उनके भी सेफ्टी की और एनवायरनमेंट अच्छे हेल्थ की बात किसी को करना चाहिए. अगर वो ठीक रहेंगे तो सबकी सेफ्टी ठीक रहेगी. तो मैं अर्बन प्लानर, एज ए अर्बन प्लानर, वी टेक केयर ऑफ हेल्थ, एनवायरनमेंट एंड सेफ्टी ऑफ द सोसाइटी, एंड दैट इज इनबिल्ट इन अ प्लानिंग. सो वेयर एवर यू लिव, all these three factors are taken care. Next. अच्छा. कौन सा है? Next के लिए. So basically, urban planning in today's context is about sustainable goals, and I'm very happy yesterday's G20 meeting. The Delhi Declaration also talks about sustainable development and SDGs, sustainable goals also. So urban planning is a very important tool to make our cities healthy, conserve natural environment, and initiate disease-free population from the scientific evidence. A major killer in today's time is air pollution. If you take any statistics or anywhere, the major diseases, lungs-related cancer or many kind of diseases, they are originated from the air pollution. Historically, our cities have been a cradle of civilization. It has generated many philosophers, scientists, etc. And over the time, situation has changed. Cities have become not so friendly, not so healthy to live in and to encourage the talents. So in this case, a very important part is urban transport, like Praveen Goyal ji had just presented RRTS, and RRTS will play very important role in removing vehicles from the road and reduce the air, air pollution. Next thing is, a very important thing is increase the physical activities. So you plan in such a way, people walk compulsorily. The morning walk, evening walk is not enough. Scientifically, it is proved. You need to be active for a complete days. So high density, very close living, etc., is rapidly increasing. Number of non-communicable diseases in our society and our cities. So worldwide, it is considered the 68% of global mortality is due to NCDs and a very high cost of loss is there. So best thing is to plan a better land uses and have a synergy with transport planning. So the moment you come from your bus station, railway station, etc., you can walk to your houses or from house to the railway stations. Secondly, to reduce air and noise pollution, which is have a number of negative effects, many diseases, which I have already told. And there is a third thing is climate change and heat island. This was also very important point in G20 discussion, how to mitigate the climate changes, one earth, one future and one family. So to maintain this earth, it is very necessary to tackle the climate change because we are building concrete, asphalt urban environment increasing, so heat is increasing and the flooding is the reason of excessive runoff. Tackling the diabetes explosion in India, there are a number of studies and diabetes is one of the major killer and at this moment. So if you go into the numbers, it is almost like an epidemic in our cities. The number of patients is increasing so rapidly. So you need to focus on increasing physical activities. Level of individuals is likely to counter this epidemic. Interventions at city and regional level is required. It is not enough to have a park and you just walk from your house to the park and come back. So Indian way, now we have to go back to the basic. The way our Indian organic cities were there, you look into Rajasthan, Jaipur, etc. The streets were not only for a traffic, but it was a public space, it was a social space, and people could interact with each other. So back to the basic, introduce social spaces like Chaupal in villages, Chowk to the cities, so people can have a leisure time and sit there. What are some specific ways to make our cities more walkable? Develop the park, walking pathways, and about at least 10 minutes, you should be able to reach to your parking, railway station, or a bus station. Eyes on the street is a very important principle for safe streets and active streets, so people can feel like walking at an odd time also. And transit-oriented development policy, which is promoted by the Government of India, which is being promoted all along the RRTS. NCRTC has also worked with UP government for this policy. So it's not only the children, for everybody needs proper walking spaces, even parents. So provide proper facilities, drinking water, etc. For vigorous physical activity, we need to build badminton courts, football courts, open gyms, sports complexes, footpaths to be developed so people can walk. There should be easy access, unobstructed pedestrian movement, covered tree shades, so all weather you can walk. Well-maintained street crossing encourages children to walk. Development of social ties, social ties between the people, the communities, is also very crucial in improving health, etc. Earlier, we used to have a lot of customs, but modernization, migration, new metropolitan cities, the customs have gone. Probably we need to build certain systems where people can come together, meet each other, and keep it a very friendly environment. Now, these are one of the philosopher or planner who has given this Wunwerf. His name is Wunwerf, and these principles are very much followed. This is very simple for any engineer or planner. There are 4 visible entrances. The entrances should be visible, so people can slow down there, vehicles can slow down there. Physical barriers, create a physical barriers like we call it tabletop crossings. So it is slightly elevated, so car gets slowed down. And shared and paved spaces, like instead of giving a straight road in your society or a neighborhood, give a little bit of curve. So that reduces the speed and also encourages, creates a landscape space where people can interact, neighbor can interact with each other. Landscaping the streets, so that will also encourage or invite people to come out and sit or walk. In conclusion, promote healthy and sustainable cities. The major killer is air pollution. To reduce air pollution, we need to bring less and less cars on the roads. The better land use and transport planning. So wherever this Rapid-X railway is going or metro is going, along that we are planning high-rise density residential, commercial activities. So people don't have to use vehicles. They can directly take metro or railway. Again, go from railway, they can go to their residence. And then diabetes is one of the major cause, and in next 20 years, that will be the #1 cause for death. So walking is need to be promoted. And the cities should be made walking friendly. Walking is possible. People don't like to walk along the road. So shortcuts through the park, through the shopping, through the many of the cities in Denmark, Netherlands, and Europe, they have adopted to these things, and they are very successful. The passage through buildings also helps for business. The shops are there, etc. And creating a social zones along the road, at the junctions, etc. This will help to improve health, environment, and safety. The scientific study shows after implementing all these principles, the death rate in road accidents have gone down very, very considerably, if not zero. That's all for the today. Thank you very much.
Town planner Shri Uttarwarji. Any question to Mr. Uttarwarji? Any question? No. So we move to the next. एक ही को लिवा लो ना, वो इतना ट्रांसफर हाँ. So we move to the next speaker. Our learned next speaker is Dr. S.B. Saraswat, MD Global and E-Auction Private Limited. He has recently written a very good book on construction and arbitration. I will request him to give some idea about his book also. And he is going to present his next book also this month. I will like that he may speak something about both the books. I request Dr. Saraswat to please address us. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I hope all are alive. Say thank you. Say thank you that we are alive. It is a high time I can appreciate because whole day you have been listening. But I can tell you that education has got no end. Even till the last moment of the life, last destination, we must learn. And that is what it is happening. Many of you are young, but many of us are much younger. So this is a real time, even in the last session, to learn something. But be sure that I'm not there to teach you much, because everything has been repeated. What is most important, which I think it is my humble duty, pride and privilege, that I must congratulate the organizers who have selected a very right and relevant topic. If you are doing the things at the basics, then the end, the destination will certainly be achieved. And that is what exactly this group of the organizers have ensured. At the same time, I take the liberty to certainly thank you, my dear organizers, that I have been given opportunity, though maybe in the last, but I have been. And it is my duty to express gratitude that I'm there. And I would like to say only few words. That construction is a growth engine and accidents are demons. Is it right? Yes, it is right. How construction is a growth engine? You have seen the resultant and the consequences, the proposals approved in the G20, where most powerful heads of the nations were there who have agreed for the corridor. This is a very simple example of construction. Construction is a field which employs 40 million people. And if you give 1 lakh of investment, it employs you 2.7 persons. Lord Vishwakarma had created this universe, but engineers are credited to create this present world. Right from your automation, robotics, to construction of the largest projects of this country are being totally governed, monitored, and being progressed by so-called technocrats. And we must be delighted, we must be happy for this. But when something good comes, always something is always associated. The accidents are the byproducts of these constructions. Of course, accidents and safety violations can take place anywhere, right from a kitchen to flight to construction, even in Chandrayaan. Do you agree with me this? So what is to be done? There are some calamities. These are also accidents. But we have not created it. God has created these disasters. These are beyond our control. But today, we are constructing roads. We are handling the concrete sides, steel structures of 500 tons. This is our skill. This is our capacity and capabilities that we are in position to organize it. Then what to do? Should we allow any accidents to take place? No. As far as any systems, procedures, regulations, any kind of actions are within the scope and purview of the people, you must ensure that it is implemented. There have been a lot of talks. My colleague, chairman, Mr. Malhotra, I have been part of the SAIL, initially for 10 to 15 years in this projects and maintenance. You can understand each and every step is prone to accidents. But what is required? You have to ensure that you are cautious, your people are made cautious, you are held responsible, make the people accountable, introduce the systems, but after making them properly, learn every day, revise it, come out with the guidelines, make the policy, have the systems, implement it, review it, and that is what exactly is to be done. I don't want to take much of your time. Of course, you have become alert. Some of my friends were sleeping. But I am lucky. I am fortunate that they are listening to me. I want to make it happen. That the true spirit of the safety is understood by the people who are the implementers. Any individual, right from a child to lady to everybody, is an implementer. But the more responsibility and accountability lies on our shoulders, because we are the developers of this country. We are developing roads and all infrastructure projects. With pride and privilege, I can share with you, I have constructed the largest blast furnace of this country. In a rural place where Mr. Malhotra and his Macon team was the consultant. Accidents practically have gone out because we are learning every day. And this is what exactly the process of education, understanding, and finally enforcing is required. But I also, during my question hour, I had very clearly contradicted one of my learned colleagues that by removing chief executive, you don't achieve anything. We have to conquer the culture of safe career, culture, and that is what is most important. I will not take much of your time because it is already late. It could be my opportunity that I could have given complete profile how the projects are likely to get lot of possibilities, potentialities of the accidents. But as a sample, a very simple, which I can explain in much more details in a time, that blast furnace Mr. Malhotra has touched upon today. I was listening very clearly. Blast furnace is generating poisonous gas, and he used a word, hidden killer. So in one of the steel plants, one of the largest company of this country was a construction partner for me. I was a technical supervisor for this country. Of course, earlier I worked in Steel Authority as a client. And the blast furnace gas leaked in night. Because of pressure of the completion of this blast furnace, 5,000 people were working at the site. 5,000. and it was round the clock working. People were working the height, 100 to 150 feet. And smell, this gas leaked. Nobody was knowing what is happening. And finally, 3 people died at the spot. What a discredit. What a curse. What a bad spot for the humanity. What the worst scenario for any family can be. You have sabotaged the complete life of the family of 3 persons. It cannot be repaired, it cannot be made up, and no solution can be obtained. So therefore, gentlemen, without going much in details, wherever there is a disease, there is a prevention. Not the cure. Cure is not always the right solution. Prevention is something which everybody should think. And we must learn that safety violations, we must try to ensure that these are not repeated. And I can tell you, in India, the scenario of safety implementation and enforcement is improving. It is improving to that extent that when I was working in a steel plant, in one of the integrated steel plant, I used to have deduction ranging from 15 to 30, 35, 40 rupees. Means so many people, employees were dying. Forget contract workers. But today, I think this number has come down. So it's God's blessings. It's all your credit. You are working for better future of this country. And therefore, we must continue our journey on a better road where the zero accident, which has been the target by many of the speakers, can be achieved. I don't want to tell many of the things which are required to be done because all of you are highly experienced people. Nobody is a learner. And therefore, and certainly telling and repeating something which you are knowing doesn't add any value, doesn't contribute. And therefore, these are all small things. If we try to accept, adopt, implement, enforce, and finally ensure that accidents possibilities are minimized. I pray God that no life should go. And we must live in harmony, accident-free environment with full happiness for the family, for which we all of us are working. Thank you very much for listening me. I'm greatly honored that such a delighted audience I could get today. This is my credit. And I wish that whenever in the future I get this kind of opportunity, I would like to express. But I would like to request the organizers that let them not keep me the last backbencher. I had never sat in the back. But backbenchers are always performers because they go slow, steady, and they learn from others. The best leaders of this country are coming from the backbenches. So today, again, I'm a delighted and happy man that I have been given a backbench. And in safety, we have to have the backbench. Don't allow this to enter. Be a strong rock, whether it is a contract worker, whether your own employee or anybody. Accidents are demons, don't allow. Prohibit, restrict, and make them totally out of scene. and that will be a wonderful day for the industry, construction, and all our civil life also. I prayed Lord Vishwakarma, who created God, temples, and the buildings for the Devtas.
अभी एक पेपर और है.
We should be blessed by them so that accident-free environment is achieved. And I wish and I thank the organizers that they must pick up this kind of topics which are contributing to the society, to the technology, to the engineers, and finally the human society at large. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is
Doc-
the
Doc-
one of my book. You may like to see, as Singhal Saab has very categorically instructed me that you must bring your book. I have written few books on e-commerce, implementation, automation, how to run industry, inventories, cash. This is the book which is on construction. I have covered a lot of things relating to the accidents. So if you get an opportunity by chance, it is available on different online forums. You may like to get. I'm not doing marketing because I don't get anything from publisher, but this is for sake of, again, contribution. And I'm obeying the instruction of Mr. Singhal. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Saraswat, you are not the backbencher, you are not the last speaker, but आपने गीता में सुना होगा कि जब श्री कृष्ण जी पैदा होने वाले थे तो नारद जी ने आके ये कहा था कि ये पता नहीं 8वीं संतान कौन सी हो, पहली ये भी हो सकती है, पहली ये भी हो सकती है. तो आप पहले ही हैं ये समझिए अपने आप को. और लास्ट में हमने आपको इसलिए रखा कि आप ही थे जो सोए हुए को जगा सकते थे. Thank you so much. Because no time has been left for question answer, if there is any, I have received one name more. हाँ sir, would you like to speak today or tomorrow? Okay sir, I request Mr. Mude Arjun Nayak, Division of Agriculture Division, ICAR, Indian Agricultural Research Institute, to present his paper. So now Mr. Saraswat will realize that he was not the last. Mr. Ajay Munde ji, Arjun Munde. Nayak. Sir.
Respected speaker, sir, and co-speaker, and dignitaries present on the dais and off the dais, a very good evening to one and all. Let me introduce myself. Myself, Mode Arjun Nayak, currently pursuing PhD from Indian Agricultural Research Institute, New Delhi, ICR, Indian Council of Agriculture Research. Before speaking to today's topic, let me tell about my research work initially. As I am from agricultural background, so I will speak some safety related issues in agriculture. As we all know that protected cultivation like greenhouses are protected structure to, with enhanced quality and quantity and productivity. But for an operator working inside the greenhouse, there is a difficulty in working in greenhouse due to harsh climatic condition inside the greenhouse. There is very high humidity and temperature. So for working an operator inside the greenhouse is difficult, and that too in pesticide application is difficulty. So I am doing a PhD work on development of robotic site-specific selective sprayer suitable for greenhouse. For that, initially we have assessed with traditional sprayers. What are the traditional sprayers now available, like knapsack sprayer and electric sprayer? With that, we initially assessed how much spray was deposited on their own body when operator working with those sprayers. Then, in order to reduce the drudgery involved in spraying operation, and the same time the chemical exposure getting by the operator, I am working on autonomous robot, low-cost autonomous robot. The robot which will nearly cost around 1 lakh only. That can spray selectively based on the crop canopy, based on the disease detection, it will spray. Then come to my today's topic is Tractor trailers, a mode of rural transport, in which, as we know that in agriculture, usually tractors are the main mode of main power source, we can say, for farming activities and non-farming activities. As farming activities means for different farm operations like tillage operations, tillage, transplanting, harvesting, threshing, whatever be the operation. But in non-farming operations, like we mainly use tractor for rural transportation, means people transportation, or otherwise for haulage transportation, or otherwise for construction material transportation. For those purposes, we will generally use tractor and trailer combination as a mode of transportation. We can see that the farm power availability was increased from 0.28 kilowatt hectare previously, that was in 1960s. Now it around 2.5 to 3 kilowatt per hectare. So the increase in farm mechanization was mainly with the tractor only. So as the farm mechanization increasing, but tractors are also increasing, but there is not giving due considerations to the safety point of view. In case of tractors and in case of tractor trailer combination. If we do operations with tractor alone as a main power source, we are getting exposure of vibration, noise, and dust while operating the farm operation. In our country, in our Indian conditions, there is no cab system for environmental control, and there is no ROPS structure. Whenever we operating, tractors are operating in the farm condition, non-farming, there also they are getting high amount of exposure in terms of noise, vibration, and like those things. And when if the tractor trailer combination using these are the different in different states, how much tractors and their percentage, and trailers and their percentage values. And what are the main limitations of tractor trailers during in transportation of in rural transportation is due to accidents are causing in tractor trailer combination, or due to lack of braking system in tractor trailer, and lack of suspension system, and there is no sitting arrangement in in trailer system, and trailer system does not have rear light visibility system. So because of these mentioned parameters, we are getting accidents with the tractor trailer combination in on-road conditions. These are, and we can see some glimpse of tractor trailer accidents while in road transportation. And these types of accidents are mainly occurring due to overloaded tractors, overloaded people, means they are not familiarizing with BIS standards, so that. And we can see some data, data of how much deaths and how much accidents from 2020 to 14 to 2020 I have given here. And what are the rates of deaths and accidents with normal one. And these are the state-wise how much deaths and accidents occurred in this. And we are working on some preventive measures to address tractor trailer combination accidents, like by keeping some small sensor on rear side of the tractor trailer system, so that the operator can warn whenever any object or any vehicle coming near to the tractor trailer. Because in while in moving on tractor trailer combination, there is no rear visibility to the driver who is running the tractor. So if these kind of small low cost sensors we can place on backside of the tractor trailer combination, so that the operator can get audible and visible and audible signals, so that we can prevent some injuries. And some other interventions are like keeping emblem on the rear side, because mainly the tractor trailer accidents will occur when in during night times. If for suppose any tractor trailer system is standing on the roads, we can't in during night times we can't see, because there is no illumination or no illuminations on the tractor or either trailer, that causes accidents. So these kind of and we are also working on retrofit type systems for people sitting arrangement on the tractor trailer, and this kind of safety interventions in tractor trailer. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Singhal sir and other panelists, and thank you, audience. Uh, I think it has been already very late, but so I'll just briefly just remind you what has been discussed. Mr. Praveen Goel told us about the regional rail corridor, Anand Bihar, where he has said about the safety measures taken and the seamless movement of the people, protection from the high voltage cables, and he also mentioned about the desirability of the support from authorities and public. uh, uh, Shri Uttarwarji, he has been a planner, and he mentioned about the safety and the health concern of the planning part. Then air pollution, urban transport, then physical activities and social, to become more social, and then more of the physical activity to take care of the bad effects of 100% traveling on vehicles and all. Then the best thing he told, which is to be noted, is the four principles of UNRF, which he covered very nicely. Then Dr. Shashwat was very, instrumental in telling us about the construction, which he says construction is the growth engine and accidents are demons. On that basis, he elaborated on various points, which are, that safety concerns, also calamities may also damage, the whole setup, like natural calamities. Then he also advised that we should have create a culture for safety. So that was very well taken. And then we should all try to find out the potentialities to improve the safety and quality part of our system. Then we have to use the processes, as he said very rightly. In the end, Mr. Munde, Arjun Naik, he delved on his research on one is that spraying robo, which autonomous robo he talked about, which of course is very beneficial because of chemicals. They affect the health of the human who's spraying. So basically, this autonomous robo will be a great contribution to agriculture sector. Plus, very nicely he dealt with the tractor trailer research, so that to reduce the incidents of damages due to the accidents. And I hope that he'll rather get it validated, as well as and probably patent also for that, so that things are taken further at mass production level. So in the end, I'll not say much, because I think everybody is tired of listening. And once again, I thank everybody over here on behalf of the chairman, sir, also. In the end, just to refresh, I'll just quote 3 lines because JC Singhal, sir, is very, वो कहते हैं ना जैसे कि मोहब्बत करते हैं इंस्टीट्यूशन ऑफ इंजीनियर्स को, तो उस पर मैं 2 लाइनें हिंदी की बोलना चाहता था. वैसे है सर, आपके गौर फरमाएं आप. मुँह जवानी ना बताता कि मोहब्बत क्या है, मुँह जवानी ना जताता कि मोहब्बत क्या है, मैं तुझे करके दिखाता कि मोहब्बत क्या है, मैं तुझे करके दिखाता कि मोहब्बत क्या है. कैसे सीने से लगाऊं कि किसी और के हो, कैसे सीने से लगाऊं कि किसी और के हो, मेरे होते तो बताता कि मोहब्बत क्या है, मेरे होते तो बताता कि मोहब्बत क्या है. खूब समझाता तुझे तेरी मिसालें देकर, खूब समझाता तुझे तेरी मिसालें देकर, काश तुम पूछने आते कि मोहब्बत क्या है, काश तुम पूछने आते कि मोहब्बत. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Conclude this session and hand over the house to the organizers. Mr. Rajput may proceed further for his announcements.
Thank you, Singhal Saab. Thank you, Singhal Saab and Lap Singh Saab for concluding well in time. Now, I request Singhal Saab to perform another duty to kindly give small memento from safety and equality from side to all the speakers. First to co-chairman, Lap Singh Saab. सर वो फोटो खींचने में उसको दिक्कत होती है. आइए सर, हो जाएगा ना. हाँ, 2 बार मत बुलाया करो यार, एक बार ठीक है. हाँ, थैंक यू. श्री PS उत्तरावर सर. सर मैंने चश्मा नहीं लगाया, सॉरी. और कुछ निकल आया है. हाँ सर. हाँ, थैंक यू सर. नाउ डॉक्टर सासवत सर. डॉक्टर साहब. मिस्टर परवीन गोयल. तो मिस्टर मुंडे. मिस्टर मुंडे. मिस्टर मुंडे. आदेश कुमार का नाम बदल गया क्या? हाँ. तो मिस्टर अरोड़ा. सर अरोड़ा साहब. सब अरोड़ा साहब ज्वेल हैं, तो आप क्या हैं? है सर. अब आपको मैं क्या पुकारूं, ज्वेल्स तो आपने उनको बोल दिया, आपको क्या बोलूं सर? Thank you very much. Now, a small reminder. Today evening, we are meeting at Crown Plaza, Mayur Vihar, 7:30 p.m. for the dinner with spouse. Kindly be there. And Mr. Goel is here. He has arranged the site visit day after tomorrow. Kindly fill up your form and at the reception and give to the organizers. Thank you very much. Good night.
प्रकाश कराओ, कैमरा चलाओ। एक अभी एक दो फोटोग्राफ